everyone, my name is Elle. Welcome. Mama has a brand new wig. So big that I had to really zoom out to get the whole thing in frame. I purchased this wig for myself for my birthday for fun. This is the Countess style wig from Rockstar Wigs and I love it. I like to kind of introduce my wigs because it's fun, and I know sometimes it may be a little bit shocking if you're looking at thumbnails and you're like, who's that? But I really like this wig. I have nothing like this, and I had so much fun putting together a look. I wanted to do something pink and purple. So there's two lip options, a hot pink and then a deeper purple. And I used the Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced. I really wanted to utilize this palette because you don't hear many people talk about it anymore. And I wanted to try something a little bit different using some of the purples and mixing the pinks as well. Because with a wig this dramatic, I really wanted makeup to go with it. So let's get into the tutorial.
All right, so my brows are roughly painted on. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Original. I just want to make sure that's really well blended into my eyelids. And I'm going to use good old Scotch tape because that's my preferred method when it comes to creating that angled shadow look. And that's why I like my brows to be done, because then I can line up the tape with the end of my brows. I'm using the good old Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced, which hasn't seen the light of day in a while, and I'm using the shade Delectable with Fix Plus because I really wanted to intensify the purple. So I'm using it on a small fluffy crease brush, and I probably should have gone with a larger brush. Originally, I was going to take the shadow into my inner corner, which would have meant that I would have needed a smaller brush, but I should have swapped brushes out to something a little bit larger where I was just focusing on the outer corner and I was really just trying to build up the pigment. Right at the very beginning, all I'm trying to do is just build up as much pigment from that deep purple shade as I possibly can. And I'm just going back and forth, and I'm really taking my time so that I'm not bringing the shadow up too high and I'm not taking it too far over, so it's usually the middle of my eyelid. And then it's a matter of going back and forth, really make some funny faces, and I see where my brows sit because my eyes are uneven. Then I am using the shade Just Peachy on the rest of my lid. I wanted that contrast of pink and purple, so I also used a little bit of Fix Plus with Just Peachy as well, because I really like the way these shadows perform when they are foiled. I just find that there's more intensity there, and there's like a tiny bit of gold in that shadow, which I love my gold, and I just think that purple and pink and gold work so well together, but I feel like it's not as noticeable when the shadow is dry. To blend Just Peachy and Delectable together, I'm using the shade Bellini, which is a bit of an interesting choice because I was thinking about using a different shade of purple or one of the brown shades, but I thought that Bellini would add a little extra dimension, especially on top of Delectable, because you can see how the shadows are blending together to create that really pretty gradient. Then over top, I'm using Georgia, which is just this pale peachy shade. I never go in with a crease shade when I'm doing a look like this at the very beginning because I'm not following my natural crease with this sort of shadow. So I'm using Georgia to help buff out any of those harsh edges that I might have, especially where I was using the shadows wet. It's really easy to do so. Then I'm going back in with a little bit more of Bellini just to try and make sure that it's even, and take the tape off, my favorite part. Then I'm going to go into the face. I'm using a face primer from The Ordinary. I'm just trying to finish it up. It's just a pretty standard face primer. I'm using the Becca under eye corrector underneath my eyes because I have so much darkness under there and it's still not enough. So I used the Urban Decay color corrector, the pink one, and then I'm using from YSL a liquid green corrector for my red spots, and I had to use my favorite foundation, the Urban Decay Naked Skin. And I'm just using a buffing brush from, I believe, Morphe, just to blend the foundation into my skin. I like to spend a little bit of time buffing my foundation because I feel like it ends up looking a little bit more realistic and more skin-like. And I really like the Naked Skin foundation because you really can't go too overboard with it. And then I'm using the Naked Skin concealer because, again, I still needed a little bit more brightness underneath my eyes. And with a beauty blender. Then I'm taking some of the Becca Under Eye Brightening Powder, and I need to set my concealer because I will get creasy, and I find that the shadows will transfer a little bit once I put it underneath my eye. Then I'm lightly contouring with the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette, a little bit underneath my jaw, and then some blush. I'm mixing two shades together from the Anastasia Radiant Blush Kit, something a little bit pink, and the Kevyn Aucoin Capri Bronzer for, again, a little bit more pink and just a little hint of bronze. And I'm using Pink Heart from the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit because it's a pink highlighter. Then from Clionadh Cosmetics, I am using the Aftershock highlighter in Spark, and I used it on my inner corner as well as my brow bone. Now, I lost a bit of the footage for underneath my eye area because I was crouched too far down, but I just used a pencil brush with some of Delectable going in halfway, and then using the same brush that I used just Peachy on, I am putting that on the inner portion, and then I'm just blending a little tiny bit with Georgia on a fluffy crease brush. And mascara, I didn't forget mascara this time, so that's what the look looks like with just mascara, no lip color. And I decided to go in with a pink eyeliner. This is Woodstock from Urban Decay. I just felt like I wanted more pink. I'm using a really, really grungy pair of eyelashes. I need to find some new wispy eyelashes that go into that beautiful, longer outer corner. That's why I've been hanging on to these ones. I believe they're an old House of Lashes one. So to stick with the Too Faced theme, I decided to use one of the melted lip colors. This is such a beautiful hot pink. And then I thought maybe I would try a brighter purple. This is one of my favorite purple lip colors. This is from NYX, and this is the color Amethyst. It's one of the liquid suedes. And then I had to pop on my wig, which just really ties the whole thing together. I made sure that I had purple and pink in my shirt. I have the pink wig, I have pink in my hair, I have hot pink nails. I really like the style of this wig. I feel like it would go with a lot of very dramatic eyeshadow looks. I feel like a lot of bright colors would look really cool with this wig.
All right, so this is the completed look. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.